A very good day to our great TAF learners. Welcome to today's mathematical literacy lesson. My name is Mampani Kekana, and then remember that the lesson is brought to you by the Gauteng Department of Education in collaboration with Sibona Discovery Center. Okay, now boys and girls, welcome once more as I've indicated. So today we are going to focus on one of the easiest section in mathematical literacy. Most cases, when we say the easiest section, it means that is where you can score a lot of marks. That is where you get the easiest questions ever. And then it simply means you can score a lot of marks. Okay, so our focus today will be on the floor and elevation plans. Floor plans and elevation plans. So with regard, I understand that is um, currently what most of you are busy with at school level, or you might have already covered that. So you just need to focus and see how you can score a lot of marks in this subtopic. Okay, so as you know that in each and every section, in each and every topic, we've got terminologies. So the terminologies are very, very important because the examiner can ask you to define any terminologies that you encounter in any topic. And then remember, in MathsLit, we are not very strict in terms of how you give your own definition. You can give the definition by or according to the way you understand it, as long as at the end of the day it makes sense. Now, in this lesson, the first thing that we are going to look at is what you need to know or what you have to know by the end of this lesson. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to define relevant terminologies in floor plans and in elevation. You cannot be working with certain terminologies, but when they ask you to define them, then you can't define them. So the definitions are very, very important, boys and girls. Understand symbols and notations used on plans. Whenever you are given a plan or whenever a plan will be given, they are always going to indicate symbols or notations, and then you must know the meaning of those symbols or notations, or you must understand what those symbols or notations represent. And then also the third one, which is also important, describe what is being represented on the plans. Describe what is being represented on the plans. Again, determine the actual length of objects on plans using measurement and given scale. Now, maps and scale, we're going to infuse the map and scale in this topics as well, or in these subtopics. The calculations that involve the scale must also be understood in this section. Okay, these are the terminologies that you would encounter when you are working with elevations, plans or floor plans and elevations. Now we've got a floor plan. We started by saying floor plan. There must be something that comes into your mind when we say a floor plan. Okay, now think about this. Think about your classroom. Think about your classroom, boys and girls. The way your classroom is arranged. Think about how you would see your classroom from above. Just imagine if the roof is removed. How would you see your classroom from above? Okay, so in this case, we'll say that is a floor plan. Now, a floor plan is a two-dimensional view of a building from above. How you see a building from above when when a roof is removed. Okay, the same thing with your house. How would you see? Remember the arrangement of the furniture in your house and so on. Um, just think about it. How would you see that from above when the when the roof is removed. So that is what we mean by a floor plan. So it's a two-dimensional view of a building from above, excluding the roof, or when the roof is removed. And then we've got elevation plan. Now again, elevation plan. Remember, imagine yourself standing in front of your classroom. Okay, standing in front of your classroom and then facing your classroom. How do you see it from the front? Okay, or how do you see it from the back? Because I know most of you, the classrooms, you can see them from the front or from the back. So, or think about your house. Most of the time, when you get to your home, when you enter through the gate, how do you see the house when you enter the gate? And if you are at the back of the house, how do you see it? If you are on the sides of the house, how do you see it? Or the how does the picture of the house look like for you? So when we talk about elevation plan, we're talking about a picture of the house, a picture of the outside of a building, picture of the outside of a building. It doesn't matter from which direction. In this case, it's just an elevation plan. Then, of course, we've got north elevation. Now, we need to understand this definition. When we say north elevation, when we say south elevation, when we say east elevation, when we say west elevation, the definitions are from the point of a person being inside the house. Okay, look at this definition. It says the side of the building that is in front of you, the side of the building that is in front of you, that you see when you are facing north. Now imagine yourself, you are inside the house and you are facing north. The wall that you will be facing, that will be the north elevation. Okay, the the wall that you'll be facing, that will be the north elevation. But if you have to look at that from outside, it means the north elevation, if you are outside, you'll have to face south for you to see the north elevation. So again, with south elevation, they say is the side of the building that is in front of you when you that is in front of you when you are facing south. Now this one means you are inside the house, you are facing south. So the very same wall that you are facing is south elevation. But if you are outside the south elevation, if you are outside, it means you are now going to face north for you to see the picture of the south elevation. So I hope it makes sense. But boys and girls, like I indicated, however way or the any way that you find it easier for you to give the definition, as long as at the end of the day the definition is correct. This is an example of a floor plan. This is an example of a floor plan. Now, if you look at this floor plan, you can see this is how we see it from above. Okay, and then there's no roof there. The roof has been removed. Okay, so you can see in this case, we can see the features of a bathroom. You can see the features of a kitchen. All right. Unfortunately, the bedroom and the lounge, the features are not indicated. But in some cases, you see the house from above with all the features, with the arrangement of all the furniture in the house. So that will be a floor plan. The symbols that I referred to, okay, they might differ slightly from what the examiner will give you, but in most cases, the examiner will give you the symbols and their meaning. Okay, so like for instance, they might give you a symbol like this one. They say this one represents a wall. So whatever you see a solid line like this one on a plan, you'll know that that line represents a wall. And then this one, if you see a symbol like this one, that will represent a window. Okay, and then if you see a symbol like this one, that will represent a door with its swing direction. In which direction is it swinging? So if you look at this one, it goes in this direction, so it means it swings to the right hand side. And then of course, some doors don't swing like this one. We've got a sliding door, so the examiner will also indicate that this is a symbol for a sliding door. Okay, then the next one is a symbol or more symbols. We've got a toilet seat. Okay, the toilet seat there that indicates that that is a this one, it indicates a toilet. So in most cases, it will be in the bathroom. We've got a bathtub. Okay, so there we've got a bathtub. So obviously it will also be in the bathroom. And then we've got a sink. Okay, a sink would be in the kitchen. Okay, so if they indicate and they say this is a sink, and then that means that is a sink that you find in the kitchen. Okay, then of course we spoke about the elevation. Remember, these are the side views. How do you see the house from the side, or how do you see any object from the side? It does not necessarily mean a house only. So in this case, if you look at the point of a house, you will see that this one, they say it's a north elevation. Okay, this one is a south elevation. This one is an easterly elevation, and this one is a west elevation. So north elevation, it simply means if you are outside, if you are inside the house, you'll be facing north to see this wall. Okay, or if you are outside, obviously you're going to face south. So you must just be able to interpret this one. It's a south elevation. So if you are inside, you'll have to face south. Then you know that if I'm inside, I'm facing this wall. This one is the south elevation. But obviously, from outside, it's going to be a north elevation. So you must also be able to interpret the elevations in terms of a direction as well. Okay, and then we've got compass direction in house constructions. Now, boys and girls, you did the compass direction with 8 cardinal points. So that one we should not have a problem about. We should know which side is north, which south, which side is south, which side is west, which side is east, and so on and so on. So now, I don't know how many of you are aware of this. Maybe the geography learners will testify, will be a testimony to this, will testify to this. Geography learners will actually be testimonies to this in terms of the sun, the movement of the sun. So if we read this information, they say compass direction are also used in the construction industry. Architects and builders must choose the best position for a building in relation to the sun's location at different times of the day and during different seasons. Okay, so what is happening here is we've got a compass, we've got north, we've got south, we've got east, we've got west. Even on this one, we've got south, we've got north, we've got east, we've got west. Okay, but the movement of the sun, we all know that the sun rises in the east and west. Sets in the west. It rises in the east and goes down in the west. So as you can see there is the movement. Okay, but you can see that as it goes up, okay, as it goes up during the day, you can see that it is most of the time on the north, most of the time on the northern side. So the sun is moving up, it must move from east to west, but it's slightly skewed towards the northern side. So this one is to the northern side. So the questions that the examiner might ask you in this case is obviously, but during the day, certain rooms will receive more sunlight than other rooms. You might have realized this with your house or maybe with your classrooms, that during the day, that other part of the classroom or that other part of the house never received sun. Okay, but the other part of the house or the other elevation of the house always receives the sun. So that is how it is. So from east to west, but in most cases you find that the sun is actually mostly on the northern side. It doesn't matter where, even in winter, but in winter it's more to the northern side. It's still on the northern side, but it's a little bit more to the northern side. So the examiner might ask you that if they give you a room or if they give you a house and then they ask you which rooms will receive more sun. So in this case, you can see that if the sun is there during the day, obviously this let's say by midday, this room will not receive the sun, and this one will not receive the sun, and this one will also not receive the sun, but only this one will receive the sun. Okay, this side will receive the sun. So you must also be able to interpret this compass direction. But again, I know that most of houses these days, they are actually installing solar panels. Okay, so it's also very, very important on where they install the panels, because they can imagine if they have to install it on this side. So it simply means most of the day that solar panel is not going to receive sunlight. But remember, the purpose of the solar panel is to receive the sunlight during the day. So obviously, that the movement of the sun must also be taken into consideration. In this case, if the solar panels have to be put there, obviously the solar panel will not receive the sun. So it will be better if they put it on the other side, because it simply means it's going to receive more sunlight during the day. Okay, now the possible exam questions. Now, boys and girls, as I indicated, that this section or this subtopic is actually the easiest one. This is actually where you can score a lot of marks. Now, this question, it's the floor plan of a chalet close to the Mountain Zebra National Park is shown alongside. Determine the number of doors on the floor plan with the right-hand side opening. Determine the number of doors on the floor plan with the right-hand side opening. Now, like I indicated, boys and girls, in some cases, the examiner might indicate the symbol on the plan and then also explain that this symbol represents a door. But we know that maybe all the way from grade 10 and grade 11, we should know that the symbol of a door does not change unless if it's a special door, okay, like a sliding door. But the symbol of a door does not change. You must have an idea, or you must have a picture of how the symbol of a door looks like. So in this case, when they say determine the number, it means the first thing you must know about the symbol. Okay, determine the number of doors on the floor plan with right-hand side opening. So it's not just any door, but the one that opens to the right-hand side. So you'll see on the plan. So if we check this, if I start with this one, this is the first door. Okay, if I look at this one, it shows to which side the door swings. It clearly indicates to which side the door swings. So you can see that the door swings to the left hand side. The door swings to the left hand side. So if it swings to the left hand side, it means this one, it's not the correct one. So then we go to the next one. This is the next one. So the second door, there it is. You can see that it swings to this side. So you can see that it actually swings to the right hand side, because it's on it swings to the right hand side. So this is the first one that swings to the right hand side. Then another door, I've got this one. So you can see that this one swings to the same direction as this. And then I go to this one. It also swings to the same direction as the first one. And then I've got this one, this, and that one swing to the same direction. And then that is the right hand side. So in this case, it's this door and the other door. I don't see any other door. So in this case, there's only two doors. So you just indicate the answer, it's 2. Okay, then that's all. Yes, we had more than 2 doors, but not all of them open or are right hand side openings, or open to the right hand side. So for this one, it's just 2. Then the next one is write down the name or names. So if they say name or names, if there's only one, you write only one. If there's more than one, then you write more than one. If there's 2 of them, if there's 3 of them, you have to write all of them. So the examiner just indicating that name or names. If there's more than one, then write all of them. Write down the name or names of the rooms that will face the afternoon sun. You see the concept that we were busy with about the sun? Think about it. Now, Write down the names of the room that will face the sun in the afternoon. Okay, now remember in the afternoon the sun will be way up, way up, way up. If it's early in the morning, it will still be down. Maybe only the eastern side will receive the sunlight. Okay, but during the day it's up there. So remember we said, what did we say about the sun during the day? Yes, it's going up, but it will be mostly on the northern side. So only the northern elevations will receive more sunlight. But now we need to check which side is the northern side. Okay, now we need to complete our compass. There's the north. Then we know that this must be south, and this must be east, and this must be west. So there it is. There's a compass. So the sun will come up from this side, goes up. Okay, then our sun will be somewhere there. So in this case, this is how we interpret it from the compass. Now, which side will receive more sunlight? So obviously, this is the northern side. This is the northern side. And then obviously the sunlight will be received through the windows. Okay, the northern side will, the sunlight will be received through the windows. So that will be through the window of the kitchen and also through the window of the bedroom one. So in this case, when they say write down the name or the names of the room that will face the afternoon sun, so those rooms are the kitchen, okay, and then bedroom one. So you need to specify bedroom one because there's another bedroom which is bedroom two. Okay, so the kitchen and bedroom one, there's only one kitchen there. So that is the answer for 1.2. 1.3, determine the probability of walking into a bedroom in this chalet with two separate beds in one bedroom. Determine the probability of walking into a bedroom in this chalet with two separate beds in one bedroom. Okay, now how many bedrooms do we have here? We've got bedroom one, we've got bedroom two. We've got only two bedrooms. Okay, and then is there any bedroom that has got separate bed? In this one, I only see one bed. Only see one bed. And then in this one, I also see only one bed because in this bedroom, this one is clearly indicated that it's a cupboard. That one is also clearly indicated that it's a cupboard. So when they say determine the probability, so in this case, you have to say the probability is 0, right? If you don't want to say 0, you can say 0%. Okay, if you don't want to say 0%, you can say impossible because the examiner in this case does not specify the format. So it's 0, 0%, or impossible. You don't necessarily have to write all of them, any one of the three, unless if the examiner will say in numerical form or in the form of percentage or in the form of or in weights. Okay, so in weights it will be impossible. In the form of a percentage is 0%. In numerical form it's 0%. I mean, it's just 0. So that is how you would write it. Then the next question, which was also taken from the one of the old question papers, the floor plan of Crazy Daisy is shown alongside. The floor plan of Crazy Daisies is shown alongside. Okay, explain the meaning of the term floor plan. Now that terminology is coming now, so it is also possible that it can be asked in the examination. You must have an idea, boys and girls. You must have your own interpretation that is relevant. Now remember, we said a floor plan. Imagine seeing your house from above with the roof being removed, or imagine seeing your classroom from above with the roof being removed. That will be regarded as a floor plan. So in this case, the floor plan is the view of a house plan from above. From above, without a roof. Okay, it's view of a house plan. This must just be a house plan from above without a roof. Okay, so that's how easy you can explain it. Or if there's the easiest way of explaining it and it's also relevant, that will also be acceptable. But this is one way of explaining it. Identify the room labeled A. Identify the room labeled A. So we need to check where A is. So there. If I check around, there I've got A. So I need to identify. How am I going to identify? How am I going to tell what type of a room is that? How am I going to tell if this room is a kitchen, or if this room is it's a bathroom, or if this room is a bedroom? So how am I? The furniture will give me an idea, the type of furniture that is okay, or the type of features that are in that room. So you can see that here I'm given the key symbols. Okay, if you see a symbol like this one, it represents a toilet pan. If I see a symbol like this one, it represents a wash basin. If I see a symbol like this one, it represents a kitchen sink. If I see a symbol like this one, it represents a door. Okay. Now, obviously, if I see a toilet pan, that will be a toilet. If I see a washing basin, that will probably be that will also be a toilet. But if I see a kitchen sink, obviously that will be a kitchen. Okay. So in this case, what do I see there? Obviously, the first thing that I see is this symbol, is that one. So that is a toilet pan. And then I also see this one, which is washing basin. So this can only be a bathroom. Okay, this can only be a bathroom. Right, and then we've got, again, the next question. Give the general direction of the kitchen from the front door. Give the general direction of the kitchen from the front door. Now, boys and girls, can you see how easy these questions are? I'm sure when you look at this question, you can see that you could have scored marks on each and every question. There was not even a challenging question there. And that is exactly what we expect from you in an examination. We expect each and every one of you to score every mark from every question, to score marks from every question, especially under this section. The general direction of the kitchen from the front door. Now, they must have indicated the front door somewhere. There I've got a front door. So this is the front door. So it means when you enter this place, you're going to have the front door. This is where you're going to enter. Then where are you going to find the kitchen? Right, there is the kitchen. The kitchen is here. Now the question is, give the general direction of the kitchen from the front door. Now there's our compass. Compass is there. We must be able to interpret it. Okay, so obviously we've got, if this is north, obviously this is east, and then this is west, and this is south. Okay, and then between east and south we've got southeast, and then between north and east we've got northeast. But obviously you can see that from this one, after the interpretation of our compass, this will definitely be southeast. So give the general direction of the kitchen. Where is the kitchen from the front door? If I have to look for the kitchen from the front, or if I have to point where the kitchen is, it will simply be southeast. So the kitchen is, the front door. Give the general direction of the kitchen from the front door. So the kitchen is on the southeast from the front door. Very easy as well. Okay, then the next question, still on the very same picture. The measured width of the coffee shop is 70 millimeters. The measured width of the coffee shop is 70 millimeters. So the width has already been measured. Now, if I may ask, which side would you say is the width in this case? Okay, now when we say the width, obviously is the shorter side. If they had to talk about the longer side, they will say it's the length. So this one, they say it's 70 millimeters. The measured width of the coffee shop is 70 millimeters. The actual width, so in reality, it's 15 meters. Determine the scale rounded off to the nearest number of the floor plan. Okay, so now in this case, likely they didn't say measure. They give you the measurement. Okay, they give you the measurement on the plan, and they also give you the real measurement, and then they ask you to determine the scale. So what do? You take the two values, you write them in the ratio form. So for to write them in the ratio form, you say 70 millimeters is to 15 meters. Okay, by just doing this, you've got 1 mark already, because you understand the concept of the scale, right? 70 millimeters to 15 millimeters. Now we need to simplify this, boys and girls. We need to simplify this. How do we simplify? So before we simplify, like in Maths Lit, we say we have to ensure that both values have got the same unit. This one is millimeters and that one is meters. So before we divide or before we simplify this, we must ensure that both values are in the same unit. Which one are you going to convert, or which one are we going to convert? It doesn't matter which one, okay? But it's always easier to convert the big one to a small one. Now you need to know 1 meter is equals to 1,000 millimeters. The examiner might not give it to you, so you need to know it, especially conversion between metric units. You must know all of them. How to convert from a meter to a kilometer, how to convert from a meter to a centimeter. Those ones you need to know them by heart. The examiner might not give you the conversion factor. So if 1 meter is equals to 1,000 millimeters, then now we need to convert this one. We say, but there we've got 15 millimeters, and we've got 15 meters. So how do you convert? If we cross multiply, you will see that it's so this one we can say we're looking for the width. So if you cross multiply, it's W equals to 15 multiplied by 1,000. So this will give us 15,000. Okay, so it's 15,000, and then this is in millimeters. Okay, so this is how you convert. Remember, the cross multiplication method or whatever method you are using at your school to do conversion, as long as at the end of the day that method gives you the correct answer. So this one is the same as 70 millimeters is to 15,000 millimeters. Then now we can simplify. Okay, since the units are the same, we just say this and this one will cancel out. The units are the same. Then we divide by 70. So divide this one by 70, divide that one by 70, and this one 70 divided by 70 is 1. And then 15,000, you take your calculator. So it's 15,000 divided by 70. Then I get 214,285. 2,857, and so on and so on. But let us look at the question. The question says determine the scale rounded up to the nearest whole number. So the rounding will also be very, very important. So if I have to round it up to the nearest, it's going to be 1:2 to the nearest whole number. I check. I've got 214. Is it going to change to 215, or is it going to remain the same? If the first digit after the comma it's less than 5, then this will remain the same. But if the first digit after the comma was 5 or more, this was going to change to the higher number. It was going to change to 215. But in this case, it remains the same, so it's 214. And this is the answer for number 2.4. Okay, so you can see that calculating the scale, it's also so very important in this case. You must know how to calculate a scale. Right, so that was number 2.4. Okay, the next question, it's question 4. Jane and Tom are the newlyweds. They plan to build a house using the floor plan and elevation shown. Okay, and then 4.1, they say how many bedrooms are shown on the floor plan. Boys and girls, you can see how is this is. Then when I check on the floor plan, I've got ground floor plan, I've got first floor plan. Okay, so this is a double story. Okay, but on the double story, on the ground floor, I can only see the garage, I can only see the kitchen, I can only see the living room. But on the first floor plan, I see bedroom. Okay, then I see bedroom 2, I see bedroom 3. Okay, so this is probably bedroom 1. So there's bedroom 1, bedroom 2, and bedroom 3. The question is how many bedrooms are shown on the plan? So the number of bedrooms is just 3. So that is the answer for 4.1. Then they say the elevations are numbered from 1 to 4. Match the elevation with the correct number, e.g. west elevation is number 3. Okay, so in this case, I've got side 1, I've got side 2, I've got side 3, I've got side 4. And then there is a compass that shows this way it's north. Okay, so this is north. So you can see that, okay, obviously from this one, this side will be the northern side and this will be the southern side. So this is south, this is north, and then obviously this will be the east and that will be the west. We can for so long interpret it like that. That will be the same thing with obviously the ground floor. So the ground floor, this side will be the north, and this will be the south, this will be the east, and this will be the west. Okay, so obviously on top of this floor, we're going to have the first floor. Okay, now we need to check. They say match the elevation with the correct number, e.g. west elevation is number 3. So in this case, which elevation is north elevation? So north elevation. So the north elevation, we've got two elevations here. We've got side 1 and side 2. But you can see that between these two, one of them must be the south elevation and the other one must be the north elevation. Okay, so you can see that this one has got a veranda. Okay, this one has got a veranda. So obviously the one that has got a veranda will be the south elevation. So that will be side 1. Okay, so this one is got a veranda, so it's the south elevation. Now let me check. So this is when we're looking for the north elevation. The north elevation, it's not supposed to have a veranda. Sorry about that, boys and girls. The north elevation is this side. It is not supposed to have a veranda. So it must be side 2. Okay, so this must be side 2. Because you can see the north, there's no veranda there. Okay. And then for the south elevation, we spoke about it. The south elevation obviously is this one. Is the one that has got a veranda. Okay, it is the one that has got a veranda. So this one is side 1. Okay, then the next one is the west elevation. So as we indicated that this must be west, and then this must be this must be east, this must be west, and this must be south, and then of course north. Okay, so now for the west elevation is this one. So imagine yourself looking at this. So the west elevation, obviously, if you are facing this way, the veranda, you're going to see it on your left hand side. Okay, the veranda will be on your left hand side. So where you see the veranda being on the left hand side, it's side 3. So side 3 is the one that is the west elevation. Okay, actually the west elevation is this one. So this is the west elevation. The veranda you'll see it on your right hand side. So you'll see the wall, and then the veranda will be just on your right hand side. So I'm sorry about this. So the veranda is here. So there's the veranda. So the side 4 must be the west elevation. Okay, and then we've got east elevation, of course, is the last one, but with the east elevation, so obviously we'll be facing in this direction. Okay, you'll be facing this direction, so the veranda will be just a little bit on your left hand side. So that will be side 3. So that will be side 3. Okay, so that is those are the answers of this question. Okay, and then 4.3, they say, is this plan for a single or double story house? So obviously it's a double story. So it's a double story. Sometimes they might ask you for a reason. Obviously, two floors are given. We've got the ground floor plan and we've got the first floor plan. Okay, then 4.4, they say the actual length of the northern wall is 20 meters. So there's the northern wall, obviously. Okay, they say is 20 meters. Calculate the length on the floor plan. The actual length of the northern wall is 20 meters, and calculate the length on the floor plan. Okay, so if we look at this one, they say this is 20 meters. The northern wall is 20 meters. It's either on the floor plan or on the elevation plan. Okay, on the elevation plan. So it's 20. So it's 20. They must be equal, obvious. Okay, the length of the floor plan and the length of the elevation must actually be equal. So for this one, we don't even have to calculate. Maybe the examiner should have said determine the length. So this will also be 20 meters. Okay, so it's on the northern wall, it's 20 meters, and then now what will be the length, or how long will that be on the floor plan? So it will still be 20 meters. Okay, now I want us to look at the next question. It's similar to the previous questions, boys and girls. It's similar to the previous questions. You will see how easy it is as well. This one is Kyle will be staying with family. The floor plan and elevation plan of Kyle's family home is shown. Identify one difference between a floor plan and an elevation plan. Identify one difference between a floor plan and an elevation plan. So they just want you to explain the difference. Okay, basically it's just about defining both of them. Define the floor plan and the elevation plan, but in one question, because that is how you'll be able to explain the difference. So we spoke about a floor plan before. So floor plan is view of a house plan from above when a roof is removed. When a roof is removed. Okay, a view of a house from above when a roof is removed. That is a roof plan. But now elevation is when you see when is the view of the house from the side. Is the view of the house from the side. You don't necessarily have to specify whether it's the northern side or the front side and so on. So that one will be the elevation plan is view of a house from a site. Okay, elevation. Okay, so this one is just a view of a house from a site. Just easy as that. And then the next question is, name the rooms that can be seen on the elevation plan. Name the rooms that can be seen on the elevation plan. Now, which one is the elevation plan? So this is an elevation plan. The elevation plan is the side view. Okay, is the side view. But when I look at this side, I can see 3 windows. I can see 1, 2, 3 windows and a door. Okay, there are 3 windows and 1 door. So I must go to the floor plan, and then on the floor plan I must check which side will give me 3 windows and 1 door. Okay, or which side will show 3 windows and 1 door, but in that order, in that pattern. Okay, if I look at this side, okay, luckily we are given the compass there. So if I look at this one, this is the north, this is the east, this is the west, and this is the south. Okay, when I look, if I have to stand here outside and face this one, I will see 1, and then I'll see 2, I'll see 3, I'll see 4 windows. There's not even, I would not even see the door. You see where the door is facing, the door is facing there. So if I have to imagine, if I have to take a photo of this side, if I have to take a photo of this side, the photo will only have 1, 2, 3, 4 windows. So obviously it won't be that side. Okay, then I go to the other side. If I check the western side, if I have to take the photo of this one, or if I had to stand on this side and face the wall, I will only see 1 window. So it can't be that one. If I have to come to this side, the east side, if I face this way, okay, or I stand where I'll be able to take the photo from this point to that point, I'll only have 1, 2 windows and 1 door. That is what I will see from the picture. Okay, so obviously it won't be that one. Now, if I look at this one, I've got 1, I've got 2, I've got 3. I've got 3 windows there, and I've got a door there. So you can see that in this case, I've got exactly in the same order. I've got the window, there's the window. I've got the door, there's the door. I've got the window, there's the window. I've got the window, there's the window. Now they say, name the rooms that can be seen on the elevation. So the rooms that can be seen, it means is this room, okay, which is a bedroom. And then I can also see the dining room or the dining hall. Okay, it is just indicated the hall there. Okay, and then I'll also be able to see a store. So it's probably a storeroom there. Okay, so but you can just give the names as you see them on the plan. So for this one, it's obviously a bedroom. Okay, and then also a dining hall or just a hall. And then we also have a store, or you can say storeroom. Okay, these are the only rooms that you can mention. If you mention more than this, you see it's 3 marks, the examiner might say it's 1 mark, 1 mark, 1 mark. Okay, if you give an extra unnecessary one, okay, maybe you give an extra one, then you're going to lose 1 mark. If you give 4, you're going to lose 2 marks. Okay, but if you give only 2 and then you don't mention the third one, you are only going to get 2 marks. So this one, actually the examiner will only expect only 3 names. If you give any additional name, obviously that will be incorrect, and then you're going to reduce, you're going to lose 1 mark. If you give 2 more, then you're going to lose 1 more mark. So if you're going to give 3 more, that means at the end of the day, I mean, at the end of the day, you give 6 names, then you're not going to get any mark there. So it means you are guessing. You don't actually know which one are correct. Okay, then the next question is give the compass direction of the elevation shown. The compass direction. So I think we have already done that. We just want to know, is this the north? Is this the south? Is this the west? Sorry, or is this the east? So in this case, we have already indicated that this is the south. Remember, according to the compass, this is the east, that is the north, and that is the west. So this must just be the south elevation, or just the width south will be enough. So that will be it. Then the next one is determine which room or rooms of the house will receive the late afternoon sun. Now that question again, okay? If you know about the movement of the sun, okay? So which room of the sun will receive the late afternoon sun? So the sun goes up, but it is not possible. The sun does not move to the southern side. It moves only to the northern side. So in this case, now I can indicate which rooms. So obviously during the day it's going to be this one, the bedroom, and it's going to be the toilet, and then it's going to be the washing area. There's W and /A, so that is the washing area. So for this one, I can indicate the washing area, I can indicate the toilet, and I can also indicate the bedroom. So the washing area, because there's a window there, and then the toilet. Okay, then the next one is the bedroom. The next one is the bedroom. Okay, so maybe even this one as well. Okay, one can say this area, even though it's not clearly named, okay, it's not clearly named, but I would not be surprised if some learners would also mention this one. Maybe they'll say it's the kitchen, or maybe it's the hall. I don't know, but the examiner in this case would be looking at these answers. But if I were to be an examiner and then I have to give a mark, I will also give a mark, because this one, there's also a window there. That window will also receive, even though that room is not clearly specified. So we can also check that. But we are definitely sure about these three. So that will be the answer for question 5.4. Okay, then the next question is, below is a floor plan of Miss van der Linde's house in Kimberley. Next to the floor plan is a key for the symbols used in the floor plan. Okay, there you got symbols. As I indicated before, that the examiner might be nice to you sometimes. Will give you the symbols, give you the notations and the explanations. Okay, there's a key symbol used on the floor plan. Then they say use the key next to the floor plan to determine the number of windows shown on the plan. Okay, so in this case, you can see that there we've got window, the symbol for a window. Now from that symbol of the window, you can be able to tell how many windows are there. So if this is the symbol for a window, we're going to check. If I start from this point, I'll say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5, this is 6, 7 in the bathroom, and then 8 in the kitchen, and then I've got 9 in the dining room. Okay, so I can just double check for in case I missed one. So I've got 1, I've got 2, I've got 3, I've got 4, I've got 5, I've got 6, I've got 7, I've got 8, I've got 9. So I just write down 9. That is the answer for question 6.1. Can you see how easy this is, boys and girls? So you must also be able to score marks in this case. Write down the name of the room or the rooms of which the door is or are facing east. Okay, so It means, again, in this case, we must be able to interpret our compass. Where is our compass? Where is our compass? We have to look for our compass. There is our compass. There is north. But you need to be careful now. You need to be careful. Look at where north is facing, because in most cases, we are used to a situation where north is facing up. So in this case, the examiner is trying to catch you out. Okay, so what they want you to interpret this. If this is facing north and you know how we interpret it, okay, we still say we keep it as it is. I know that some of you, your educators will tell you that you need to turn it around and so on and so on. However way you can find it easier, boys and girls. Okay, so if it's like this, you know that this is north, and then we can say never ever smoke weed. And this is how we complete it. Then we've got never ever smoke weed. Then we know that this is our complete compass. But between the four cardinals, we know that it's northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. Then we'll check if we really need that. Then they say which ones are facing east. So now which ones are facing in this direction? Which ones are facing? In this case, we just say down. Then we're going to check. I've got one door there in bedroom 3. Okay, it's facing there. And then obviously the toilet is different. The bathroom is different. The bedroom 1 is different. Bedroom 2 is different. And then when I check around this one, the dining room is also different. And then I've got another door there. So there's 2 of them. There's another one in the lounge. So I've got in bedroom 2, bedroom 3, and also in the lounge. So write down the name of the rooms of which the doors are facing east. So east is this way, which is the lounge and the bedroom 3. So I can say lounge and bedroom 3. Bedroom 3. Okay. So these are the names. Then it's 6.3. Explain the meaning of the scale 1 is to 110 given on the floor plan. This is the most favorite question as well. Okay, it is mostly is the most favorite question. The examiners like it a lot. So you must be able to explain the meaning. 1 is to 10. So 1 is to 10 simply means 1 millimeter on the plan. 1 millimeter on the plan. On the plan is the same as 110 millimeters in reality or on the ground. 1 millimeter on the plan is the same as 110 millimeters in reality, or 1 millimeter on the plan is equivalent to 110 millimeters in reality. Some of you might not use millimeters, they'll use centimeters. They might say 1 centimeter on the plan is the same as 110 centimeters in reality. Some of you might not prefer to use the units, and then you say 1 unit. Might not prefer to use either millimeters or centimeters. They will just say 1 unit on the plan is the same as 110 millimeters in reality. No, sorry, 110 millimeters on the plan is the same as 110. Okay, 1 unit on the plan is the same as 110 units in reality. Yes, I got it right. 1 unit on the plan is the same as 110 units in reality. Okay, you just need to find a way of playing with that, boys and girls. Some might say the plan is 110 times smaller than what it is in reality. It is 110 times smaller than what it is in reality. So the meaning of the scale, boys and girls, is the most common question as well. So you just need to find a way of defining that. Then the next one, it says determine the actual length in meters of the southern wall on the floor plan. Determine the actual length in meters of the southern wall on the plan. Now the actual, if you go and check, it means what is given here, it's not an actual. is 7.6 centimeters. 7.6 centimeters. It's a very, very short length. Okay, it can be an actual length. But how do we get this? Remember in the previous question we said whatever is here, okay, it's actually being reduced by 110 times. Okay, so for us to get it bigger, it means we must multiply it by 110. But there's always more than one way of doing it. We look at the scale. There's the scale. The scale is 1 is to 110. Okay, so we have to take that small unit. We want to make it bigger. We want to make it bigger. For us to make it bigger, it means we must multiply. So we take 7.6 centimeters, then we multiply by 110. Okay, then if you take your calculator, you say 7.6 multiplied by 110, then I get 836. So this 836, it's now in centimeters. So there's the actual length. This is the actual length, but they say this actual length must be in meters. The examiner has specified in this case. So it simply means we need to convert this. How do we convert from centimeters to meters? Come on, boys and girls, this is something that you need to know. Okay, how do you convert from centimeters to meters? We need to divide by 100. So you take 836, you divide it by 100, it's going to give you 8.36. So this is the same as, okay, so we can first show the division divided by 100, and then from there I get 8.36, but it is now in meters. Okay, it is now in meters. That is number 6.4. That is the answer for 6.4. Okay, then another question is question 7. The plan below shows the workshop of Loyiso. Write down the number of windows found on the western wall of the workshop. Boys and girls, again, very, very easy. But in this case, the examiner did not actually did not indicate the symbols and the meaning. Okay, so obviously from your experience in the classroom, from all the activities that you would have done in the classroom, you should have an idea of how a symbol for a window looks like. Okay, so write down the number of windows found on the western wall of the workshop. And in this case, they are not looking for the number of all the windows, but it's only for the western wall. Again, we need to identify. Let's look for the compass. There's our compass. There's our compass. Then you can see again that the examiner is trying to catch us out in this case. Okay, he knows that most of you are used to questions where the north is facing up. Okay, so in this case, if it's facing down, most of you are getting a little bit confused. Okay, but that is why you've got nice teachers in your classroom where they will explain that in a situation like this, try to turn the question paper around, or see if you can complete the compass as it is, because you know that if this is north, okay, so if this is north, and then this will be the east, this will be the west, and this will be the south. Okay, so this will be the east and that will be the west. It's just the normal compass, but it's upside down. It is now upside down, so we just need to be careful. Right, so which wall is the western one? So the western one is this. This is the western wall. Write down the number of windows found on the western wall. So there we've got there's the window 1, 2. Okay, we've got 1, 2. But I would also not be surprised if you have to count this one, because this is on the western wall of the workshop. Okay, okay, so actually it must be 2 because it's only the workshop. Okay, this is the workshop, but this is the proposed storage room. So there's 2 windows. Okay, write down the number of windows found on the western wall of the workshop. So that is we've got 2 windows. Then the next one is determine the length of the outer wall marked A in centimeters. Determine the length of the outer wall marked A. So the wall marked A, there's A. So we want to know how long is this? How long is this from this point to that point? Then how are we going to find it? If we look at this, we can see that this side is from this point to that point is 7.2. So it means from this point to that point is also 7.2. But already, according to this is already 4. So this is 4 meters. So it means we can say 7.2 meters minus 4. That is going to give us the length of A. So A is equals to 7.2 minus 4. So this will give us 3.2, I think. 3.2. 7.2 minus 4. So it's 3.2. So sometimes you don't take it for granted, boys and girls, especially if you had been writing an exam for almost an hour or almost 2 hours. Sometimes you tend to think that now this one is very easy. Please, if you are not sure, just verify, because your mind might also get tired as well. You think that this is actually easy, but you miss it there. So 7.2 minus then the A is 3.2. Name the feature that is indicated by the letter B on the plan. Name the feature that is indicated by letter B on the plan. So letter B, there is letter B, but there's an arrow pointing. Okay, there's an arrow pointing to that feature. So remember I said in some cases the examiner will give you the symbols and their meaning, but in this case only the symbols are given, but they didn't give the name. So in this case they give you the symbols and they wanted to give you the names. So in this case you can see that this is actually a washing basin. So it's a basin. Or if you just say a basin, because this is a bathroom basin. Bathroom basin or washing basin. So that will be the answer for number 7.3. And then the next question is, give one change to the plan that you would suggest to draftsmen in terms of accessibility for the proposed storage room. So there is the storage room, proposed storage room. Okay, so if you look at this, there's no door. Okay, there is no door. So in this case, give one change to the plan that you would suggest to the draftsman in terms of accessibility for this proposed storage room. So there must be a door. There must be a door. There must be a door to get into the storage or the proposed storage. The proposed storage. Okay, so there's a door missing, so there must be a door somewhere. So it's either between the workshop and the proposed storage room, and there can also be an outside door if possible, but somewhere there must be a door. Okay, then the next question is the length of C. So let us look at where C is. The length of C. So here is the length of C. There's the length of C from this point to that point. They say is 4.77 meters. So it's 4.77 meters. If the thickness of the wall is 0.23, if the thickness of the wall is 0.23 meters, determine the perimeter of the inner walls of the proposed storage room. Determine the perimeter of the inner walls of the proposed storage room. Okay, now Basically what we have to do in this case is we have to determine the perimeter. Okay, we have to determine the perimeter. So this wall obviously is the same as this wall. So we've got 4.77. So this is 4.77. So if this is 4.77, this is also 4.77. 4.77. That one is also 4.77. Okay. Now we want to know about this side. Remember, they say inner walls. Okay. So the length of the wall from inside obviously is not the same as the length of the wall from outside. Like in this case, we've got a wall there. We've got the wall there. We've got the wall there. So what is happening there is from that point to that point is 4. But when you go outside, the length will be reduced. It will be reduced to what? To 4 meters. So it's going to be 4 meters minus. We take the thickness of the wall, which subtracts 0.23, but we also subtract another 0.23 on each side. If in order to get the length of this, in order to get this, we have to say 4 minus the thickness and that thickness, this thickness and that other thickness. Then that is 4 meters minus 0.23 minus another 0.3. 0.23, sorry. So if I take my calculator, I say 4 minus 0.23, okay, and then I say minus 0.23, then I get 3.54. 4 minus 0.23 minus 0.23, then I get 3.54. So this is 3.54 meters. So in order to get the perimeter, how do we calculate the perimeter? More than one way of doing it. It's just a matter of adding up the 4 sides. So I'll say 3.54 plus 4.77 plus another 3.54 plus 4.77. I'm just adding up the 4 sides. Some of you will say 4.77 times 2, and then you also say 3.54 times 2. So that will also be absolutely correct. So if I take this, I say 4.77, and then I just say plus another 4.77, and then I say plus 3.54 plus another 3.54. So this gives me 16.32. 16.32, and then my unit is meters. Okay, that is how easy it is. It is not just the perimeter, but it is the inner perimeter. So that is why I said the measurement of the walls from inside and the measurement of the walls from outside are not the same. Think about your classroom. If you measure the length of your classroom from one corner to the other, but if you go outside, then obviously it's going to be a different measurement. So that is number 3.5. So that is the 3.5. So it simply means today we managed to finish all the questions, which is very, very, very good. But the reason is this is the easiest section ever, and in this the questions are very, very easy to answer. Okay, so you don't even get a headache. But boys and girls, I would advise you and encourage you to ensure that please make sure that you score a lot of marks. We know paper 2, we say it's very difficult, but I would say it's challenging. Obviously it has to be challenging, but this maps and plans, it's very, 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 very easy. That is actually one part that can help you to balance your marks or to score a lot of marks. Okay, so this will bring us to the end of today's lesson, and then thank you for watching this lesson, and then see you next time. Goodbye.